Well, happy Monday, May 4th, 2026, everybody. This is Gen X Speaks. Today, I kind of want to talk about what we do if we are able to thwart the orange nightmare in the White House. And we eliminate the immediate problem. What do we do with the rest of the country? If we manage to get out of this situation, we have to really address the problems. And a lot of the problem is that there are vast numbers of people in this country who just can't see eye to eye. We're never going to see eye to eye. And because it's perpetuated from generation to generation, the differences. And we fought a civil war over this, obviously. And maybe it was wrong, looking back, that we didn't just divide up. At the end of that, instead of, I don't know, saving one nation, maybe we should have said, okay, you know what? Let's draw boundaries and divide it up. And I know I've talked about this before, and of course, there are mountains of problems with dividing the country at this point. But it's not unprecedented at all. It's happened in Europe over and over again for centuries, thousands of years for that matter. It's happened all over the world. It doesn't seem outlandish to me anymore to just cut our losses and say, listen, look, you people think different than we do in one part of the country from another. Now, I know it's very difficult because there are people of both minds or different minds all over every state. And it's not fair, obviously, to some people, for example, who have left-leaning tendencies that live in Texas, or people that have right-leaning tendencies that live in New York State. And it's not fair. I get it. But again, this country, democracy has always been about majority rules, and what is best for the highest number of people is the best way to go. So at the end of this, we really do, I feel, need to consider a national divorce. And I don't think it'll be a matter of just dividing the country into two. I think you're really looking at dividing into possibly several countries. Some that will have, and you can form alliances with who you want, the Northeast, for example, could form alliances with Canada and Europe or whatever, like they're more like-minded. And, the South could form alliances with, I don't know, I guess Russia and North Korea and, Brazil, places that, Argentina, actually, I guess is more likely, although I'm hearing Brazil's dictators may not be done. But nonetheless, yeah, with like-minded people. And I mean, I say this kind of in jest, but in a way I don't. Maybe we were wrong to try to force there to be one country. I mean, at this point, I'm honestly feeling like maybe we were wrong to have ever divided from the crown. But what's done is done there, and we're dealing with where we are, and where we are is a really bad place that there's no easy way out of. And I think if we continue like the United States, the rest of the world is going to have a very difficult time trusting us as a whole ever again, unless we make drastic changes to our Constitution and drastic changes to the way we hold political accountability. I don't, just because we get rid of the Orange Menace doesn't mean the problem's over. The damage is done, and the world recognizes they can't trust us anymore. We're not trustworthy. We're like Axis powers now. And outside of occupation from smarter minds, the only way we're going to gain that trust is to divide up and into, and section off into areas that can be trustworthy and areas that can't. Or, areas that some people will trust and other areas that other people will trust. We're in a very, very tough situation, and I don't believe that most Americans understand that. Donald Trump has royally fucked us hard. Like permanent damage. We cannot go forward the way we have been and expect to get the respect of the world back. There's only two ways out of this. One is drastic national change. The entire country needs an overhaul. Or we consider dividing up. And it's a really daunting task. I wouldn't want to belittle that. I don't want to belittle that. If we were to actually look at this, it's a monumental effort to do that, but peacefully. But we might not have a choice, because I don't see how we're ever going to be able to coalesce with the bitter division in mindset that Americans have now. I mean, I guess you should never say never, but I don't know. It's just something to consider. Obviously we have the immediate problem in front of us to deal with first, and, we'll see. Maybe we work it out, but I tell you what, I'm running out of hope. Anyway, you'll have a good day.